Per request, I'm doing it, one of my methods on perfecting my proportions of anatomy. Now, this is not my made-up method. I found this when I was actually teaching myself how to do this. It's basically stacking heads. So you'll take the length of the head, and that will be for each portion of the body. So for females, I tend to do 7 heads. For males, I tend to do 7.5 heads, just based on the height difference. So for the female, I'm starting by drawing a base head, and then I'm going to measure it. And with that measurement, I'm going to make sections to fit 7 heads. I did this head a little bigger and a little further from the top, so I did go to the very bottom of the paper. But you're going to want to take all those sections and then line them off. After I have all my sections lined off, I'm going to start filling the heads in. And for her shoulders, or for any shoulders in general, I tend to do 3 heads, all the same width as the head above them. That's a very key point when it comes to doing the shoulders, is you want the heads to be very similar in width, so that it's not some crazy lopsided woman. And I'm going to basically make a giant T form. So there's gonna be 3 at the top and then just 1s in each section. I start this by drawing the shoulders and then going away from the arms so that I can finish out the whole body first. What I'm doing here now is I am marking off where the thighs will be and where the dip of the elbow will be. I'm also going to be marking areas like the belly button and the knees later. Now that I've reached the line where the hips flare out, I'm going to start going forward with the thighs. At this point, I do change the width of the hips just a little bit because I wasn't liking how wide they were. And then I will continue going down the legs all the way to the feet. If you look at your body or anyone else's body, you'll notice that it is actually very curvy. The muscles are not stiff, so you want to remember to add the curves where they're supposed to be. Like your calf muscles come out a little farther, and like your thighs have a little more curve. Your ankles tend to be smaller, so you actually want to pay attention to the organic shapes of your body. Now that I've finished out the legs, the ankles, and the feet, I'm going back up to the arms, and I'm going to go where the curves of the elbows are. Like I said, with your legs where they're curvy, your arms are also curvy. The muscles on your upper arm and your lower arm have different curves, so you want to pay attention to the organic, natural shape of your arms. And I'm also pointing out where the wrists would be. So you can alter this to any pose you want, but this is basically how I would lay out the female body for any of my drawings. Next, I'm going to do the male body. The male body, like I said before, I do about 7.5 heads. I learned my lesson, so I started closer to the top, and I also made his head just a little bit smaller. But I'm going to do the same thing that I did for the female. I'm going to draw out his head, measure it, and then grid off the 7.5 heads. I start the same as I did with the female, starting with the neck and the shoulders, and then moving on from that to the lower half of the body. Here I am labeling where I want his hips and his elbows to be, same with his knees and belly button. Male bodies tend to be straight down and not as wide as female bodies, but I do give him a little bit of a hip bone, so his waist is not as defined as the last one. From here, I'll take the thighs all the way down to the knee line, and then finish it out as I did the females. And from here, I'll start the arms, going to the elbow line and taking it all the way down to the wrist line.